So you've heard you should care about Congo, but you don't know why or how to. The first step is to recognize that these are all interconnected. Congo, Sudan, and Palestine are not separate issues, but especially in the context of American imperialism, different symptoms of the same violence. So don't let this be a what about, but a yes and. So while I will caveat this by saying there is a long, ongoing conflict in Congo that is incredibly difficult to summarize in 1 minute, the recent uptick and focus of the boycott movement is the M23 rebels, which are backed and funded by Rwanda. A militia group that has been credibly accused of targeting killings on the basis of ethnicity, which is genocide, and an incredible amount of war crimes being funded by Rwanda, which has incredibly close ties to the UK and France, as well as America, given all three of those sell arms to them. And you might recognize that from the Rwanda scheme that the UK was proposing with foreign migrants. And you might be asking, why would they want to do this? Well, you have to remember who Western governments serve. And that is, of course, multinational corporations profiting off of their war crimes. And Apple and Microsoft have been credibly accused of using conflict minerals, i.e. minerals that just so happen to come from Congo, which is incredibly rich in minerals. So let's put it all together, folks. There is a genocide being committed by a Rwandan-backed militia in Congo. Rwanda, which itself is in turn backed by Western governments, who are constituted of and pushed by Western corporations that stand to profit from conflict in Congo. If you know anything about imperial history, this should not be a new story to you. They've just added more steps to it, which does, in fairness, make it more complex, but it does not make it any more despicable or brutal, and it also doesn't make it any less fightable. Because the first step is recognizing that this is a symptom and outgrowth of disgusting Western imperialism. And the next step is mobilizing the weapons that we do have to undermine and take the winds out of Western imperialism to this. The first of which is advocacy, and then action. Advocacy being this: tell people that this is something the America and the West is complicit in, and push all forms of actual effective rule of law, right? Like push for the ICJ to call this what it is. And then action. I don't have faith that the American government is a good point of action for this, but corporations have a thin line, and if they are called out and held to account for it, that can be effective. And boycotts against Apple are hard, but they are possible. So if you're interested in the dynamic list of actions and advocacy that can be done, you can follow Team Congo on Instagram and here, because the goal is not to care or educate for caring or educating sense, and it is also not to divert from other harmful battlefields of American imperialism like Palestine, but to understand that these are interconnected, and as we fight one, we fight the other, and that we cannot fight one without fighting the other.